Hey there folks, my name is Kurn. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel in the first place. This is episode 11 of the Roottrees are dead. Yeah, we're working on Root Tree Mania, as we have been for the last few episodes. I still think everybody needs to keep it in their pants. And we are not done. We are nowhere near being done. We have 16 locked in. But, which is a lot better than when I started, but there are many questions remaining. So we need another 4 to lock in. But like, we don't know who this is. We don't know who these people are. Well, we sort of know who Sonia is, but we don't have the picture. We don't know who that is. And then we don't have any idea what's going on here with Mr. Elias Roottrees the First. We suspect he was fooling around with Beth, a secretary. That seems to be the MO of these dudes. Now that is Lisa Clementine. She is in the military, and she would be locked in had I not put in Mary Clementine's photo first. So that's good. I don't even know where to go now. Yeah. These are not the Garlands. That's where I thought they were. So they're not chefs. The others were chefs. This is not Christine Farrow. I mean, probably a secretary. So we'll leave that there. So we're just going to clean this up a little bit. I wonder how many fun Easter eggs there are in the names. Okay, so that's not her. They've got a Steven. Do they have a Spielberg, for example? No, but they have a Seinfeld. Do they have a Jerry? They don't. Oh, yeah, they do. Okay, that's cute. They said that not all names will be used, unlike the last game, which really annoyed me because I found that super handy. It's like, oh, there's only one root tree left. It has to be this person. Alas, can't brute force it. Okay. Oh, and the top secret thing isn't linked to anything. That's very interesting as well. All right. I'm not real sure where to start. I'm gonna go. We don't have the secretary details from the super distant past, but we should have things while he was president in our evidence. Okay, Guy has replaced Ernie. Patrick Decker was hired. Eli C. Roottrees is no longer employed. Ernest Madsen Jr. Christine Farrow was hired. Joanna Robertson, right, we got her. Joanna Fellows and Beth Knox are no longer employed by Roottrees. Writing that down. Christine Farrow became Kristen Garland. We knew that. John Miller, that's rude. Gwyneth Madsen was hired. Beth Knox, 50-year work anniversary bonus. Well, that one moment, please. 50 years goes back to 1926. And do you know who was president in 26? That guy. I wonder if there's anything about her somewhere. No. Okay. Um. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that's Beth Knox. First affair with Elias. Question mark. Oh boy. Okay. Let's go back into those records. So she's still working in 76. Zach retires. Guy took over. Guy replaced Zach. Edward, Elizabeth Cravensworth, Lloyd Carpenter no longer employed by Roottrees. Raffertunes is now listed as office staff. Albert Cross and Fred Cross are no longer employed by Roottrees. Brothers? Father, son? Christine Garland, no longer working. Beatrice Watson, Corinne Schwartz. Juliette McCullen and Doris Mays. Lisa Lewis and Valerie Ewing were hired. Thomas Green, Michael Crane, Elizabeth Farrow. Elizabeth Farrow. Wait. Christine Farrow. The hell is Elizabeth Farrow? I'm writing that down. Elizabeth Farrow. Emily Seinfeld and Sam Cattrall were hired. Robert Logan, no longer employed. William Sams was hired. The interpreter, right? Susan Ford. Okay, I'm going to check out Susan Ford. Because we had that whole school for the deaf. Edward Roottrees retirement party. Travel expense. Oh, we didn't look up Roottrees China. Writing that down. Roottrees China. 4th of July spectacular. Terry O'Connor, Susan Ford has been moved to office staff. Oh, interesting. Did she go on to work there afterwards? Douglas Rosenberg, Edward Morris, and Robert Andrews. A year later, he's not working there anymore. Lisa Lewis and Linda Lewis. Ewing, Catherine Garrett. Do they have Edna in the list? Edna Garrett? Give me a like if you remember Facts of Life and Mrs. Garrett. Give me a like and a subscribe if you remember that Mrs. Garrett originally came from Different Strokes. Emily Seinfeld became Emily Barnes. Writing that down. Gwyneth Madsen is no longer employed, but Gwyneth Cattrall, right, because they hired Sam, right? Susan Ford no longer works in this department, right? Jigua. Right, that's the school for the deaf. He died. Susan Ford is no longer employed by Roottrees. No change. Ernie, no, of course not. Douglas Rosenberg was rehired. Douglas Rosenberg. Okay, no secretaries, right? Blah, blah, blah. Victor Logan, Stuart Harmon, Amy Sutton, Sam Madsen. Canceled. Fred Gleason's 50-year work. I'm gonna look him up too. Fred Gleason. Okay, let's see what we can find. First, where the hell are the pharaohs? Right, Christine Farrow. So who's Elizabeth Pharaoh? Maybe her sister? Oh, that would be kind of gross. Okay. We're gonna do some searching in the internets. Let's just see if Elizabeth Pharaoh. Oh, wow. If I could type. No? What about Beth Pharaoh? Liz Pharaoh? No. Okay. So no search there. Susan Ford? No. Let's look up Susan Ford. Okay. Okay. Should have something here. China Roottrees, one of the companies created to manufacture and distribute root tree candy. Summer 79. During the late 70s, China began to go through a period of economic reform. This led to new opportunities for American companies, and the root tree candy company decided to pounce. Oh God. I apologize for my pronunciation. I'm going to guess that that's Long Hangbo, who was said to personally win over the Roottrees family and was the owner of multiple textile factories, did not wish to import the ingredients and build a special factory to manufacture the candy in China. So instead, they made a deal to import bulk unpackaged Roottrees candy and label it for not only China but additional markets. Hangbo, who was already in his mid-50s when the deal happened, only had daughters. His brother, Long Hongyu, took control upon his death in 1986. After Hongyu died in 1992, it passed to the eldest child for the next generation, Long Xinyu. Okay, so Long Hongbo, Long Hongyu, and Long Xinyu. Brother, child. Okay. So let's look up this person. You come across a website for the Long Tai Textile Corporation, which is a company that has helped expand Roottrees products to China since the late 70s. The company seems very accomplished. Their site has quotes from many different reporters and news articles listed on it in nearly every language. It's also mentioned quite often on websites about Chinese businesses, but those mentions are company-focused and not people-focused and don't offer any information useful to your investigation. Their page contains a very rudimentary leadership timeline with names that prove that the company has been in the Long family for a long time. It kind of looks like a family tree. It goes back at least 250 years in some form or another. During the period where they began the Roottrees deal, Long Hongbo in China, the family name comes first, so Long is his last name, was the CEO. He died before the internet was widespread, so there's not much out there other than his name on this website. His younger brother, Long Hongyu, is featured on the history section directly following him. This also seems to be the only mention of the man. The current CEO is a woman listed as simply Xinyu. The site doesn't list her last name, though she does appear in the family tree below Hongbo. Long Tai has a few American logos on its page. One is the Roottrees logo, another is Tranquilts, and the third is Peace of Asia. Okay, so first we're just going to look up... Okay, no, first we're going to get rid of this song. So that was Hongbo. Let's look up Hongyu. Okay. Well, that makes it easier. Interesting. Okay, let's look up Tranquilts. Seems Tranquilts is a play on tranquil and quilts. No kidding. The name is ironic considering they're the loudest quilts you've ever seen. The main quilt featured on their website is a flaming unicorn soaring through space with peace symbols all around it. Although they were listed on the website for the Long Tai textile company, they don't seem to have much of a connection. It appears that they import cloth. Okay. Piece of Asia. Piece of Asia is the American arm of Long Tai, located in Pittsburgh. Interesting. According to their site, the Tai in Long Tai translates to peaceful, so they chose their name in America to match. There are a lot of other companies listed here, too many to investigate, as very few of them seem to have any relevance. It seems Piece of Asia is nearly as accomplished as Long Tai. They offer fabrics and cloths at wholesale prices. You don't spot anything out of the ordinary. The business is said to be owned by husband and wife Jerry and Linda Han. Their Chinese names are listed too, and from using an online translator, it seems that Jerry is Han Junwei and Linda is Long Jinyao. Jinyao. Okay. Jerry, Han, and Linda, Han. So that's Han Junwei and Long Jin Yao, which is a whole other name. Let's look her up right quick. Dang. Okay. Lang Jinyu, in China the family name comes first, is a businesswoman currently running the Long Tai textile company. She was recently listed in an article on a website written by and for women. The article, entitled Empowered, is about the recent rise of women entrepreneurs in China. The article states that due to her lack of brothers, she has a younger sister. Okay, her younger sister is the one married to Jerry. Long Jinyu took over as CEO of her family's company in 1992 after her elderly uncle was deemed unfit to run the company due to mental deterioration. This was apparently an extremely controversial move amongst the company's employees, and some of them, the article does not state how many, quit and wrote a letter stating that she must have coerced him in his vulnerable state. Since then, the company has been performing well. Her nephew, who is currently her second in command, is expected to take over when she retires. In the meantime, the board's stance has been a twist on a popular proverb. The article roughly translates it as, "Someone that has proven they can do something well can do it 100 times well. An unproven leader could doom us all." The article also offhandedly mentions that Jinyu was an early adopter of IVF and helped her sister have a child. Ooh. So Jin Yao. Wait. Her nephew is her second in command. Theoretically, that would be Linda or Jin Yao's son. But it's actually Jinyu's kid. Right? Nephew number 2 in command. Oh boy. Okay. There's an unsourced photo of Jinyu in the article. It says that it's from 1992 when she took over. She was 45 at the time. It has been added to your evidence. Photo of Long Jinyu from a recent article about the growth of female entrepreneurs in China. She was 45 when? In 92. 45 and 92. So she was like 35 when Guy... She's like 35 when Guy was in charge of the company. But like she only took over as CEO in 1992. Interesting. Interesting. What was I also going to look at? Piece of Asia has its headquarters in Butler County. It's listed occasionally under many different contexts, as many local businesses are. Nothing seems important except the first mention from 81. The newspaper chronicles that Jerry Han has traveled from China to open the company, which is connected to a much larger company overseas called Long Tai that has connections to Roottrees. It's not a factory, it simply imports and distributes Long Tai's products. It also mentions that Jerry is the son-in-law of the current leader of Long Tai. Yeah. Someone close to the family who learned English in school, he naturally raised through the ranks as they expanded their reach to America. Although Jerry's wife Linda doesn't speak English at all, she's currently taking classes and he's teaching her at home. He says she's always been a fast learner and hopes that she'll be at least conversational by the time she gives birth. According to the article, this was not the first time they were in Butler. They visited in the late 70s with the rest of the leadership of Not Long Tai when trying to court the Roottrees. I mean, I'm sitting here staring at the screen and I'm realizing that I should verbalize my thoughts. So he traveled from China to open the company and it's mentioned in 81. When did he actually show up? Sure Shack. Or is it Piece of Asia? No, okay. So, as far as we know, it happened in 1981. So, if they visited in the late 70s, then that was during Guy's time there. But if Linda is pregnant now, well, in 81, then it's unlikely to be Guy's. At the same time, though, we have this picture. Like, that is almost certainly Linda. I mean, it doesn't have to be. It could be somebody else. But this is Guy. Okay, I'm still thinking here. That's it. That's interesting. I'm not sure what that means. Not sure where it means. What it means. Let's ask the duck. Yeah, okay. Yes, I know that. Yes, I know that too. Oh, is that the picture of her? Am I an idiot? And I just haven't had a picture. I haven't thought that that's the picture of her. Jesus Christ. Okay, so now I've got 2 people that should be locked. Root tree everywhere. Was an expansion in the late 70s. It coincided with some other large changes at the company and had mixed success. As far as you can tell, the different companies related to it were all formed in very different and sometimes haphazard ways. There's minimal organized information about the history of the expansion itself online, but you can glean the following. Oh, excuse me. Roottrees candy has been distributed globally to certain markets approved by Eliza as early as the 1940s. This include places like Canada, Mexico, select countries in Europe, mostly the UK. Canada, Mexico, UK. Roottrees everywhere involved Roottrees expansion to other major markets that were assessed to be ready for Roottrees. This started with 4 that it had no share in. Australia, Brazil, China, and France. Each of the countries had an entirely new company formed. Right. Yeah. I knew that. Oh. Well, that's poopy. That's also poopy. France is where he got his nose broken. So what am I supposed to have done there? I did that. I'm pretty sure I did that too. Although not like that. Marcon. I guess that's their kid. Jerry, Linda, and Mark Hahn appeared recently on a website called Focus on Philanthropy under the headline Hangin' with the Hans. The Hans were chosen because they donate significantly to causes that further Chinese American culture. Jerry and Linda were both born in China and fell in love during college. Linda's father led a large company, this article never names it. After it expanded to the US, Linda's father approved their marriage so long as Jerry took over the US portion of the business. Linda jokes that the entire situation is like something out of an Alanis Morissette song. Give me a like if you were a fan, are a fan, ever have been a fan of Alanis Morissette. With how ironic it all ended up. My whole bit about Alanis Morissette and the ironic song is that I think she's being ironic about irony. Because none of the examples in the song are ironic. They're all bad luck. Or, that's a shame, that sort of thing. But the song is named Ironic, so I think she's being ironic about irony. Subscribe if you like that. All right. I was absolutely terrified to move to the United States, but my big sister was desperately in love with the idea. She used to have this Butch Cassidy poster on her wall and was obsessed with Robert Redford. But somehow Jerry and I were the ones sent here, and now we couldn't possibly imagine going back. When we had Mark, we never even considered giving him a traditional name. Meanwhile, my sister stayed in China and has thrived there. She doesn't even like visiting the US anymore. Our kids are complete opposite, though. Mark couldn't wait to travel abroad as soon as he was old enough. He's actually in business school in China now, working with my sister. Our niece, who grew up there, was the opposite. She couldn't wait to get out here. She started calling herself Lucy Long in high school and flew out here as soon as she graduated. Name change apparently drove my sister absolutely loco. Okay. Jerry and Linda have Mark. And then her sister is the older sister. It's got to be Jinyu. Lucy. But somebody? Maybe Linda can have kids and it was Jinyu who, through IVF, gave them Mark. I think that might be how that worked out. And again, how does any of this fit in? I don't know. Lucy Lang or Long or whatever is not exactly a common name, but it's not the most uncommon you come across either. There are a few that come up with any There are a few that come up with any searchable details, so it might be possible to narrow down your possibilities. A Lucy Long is mentioned on a robotics website as part of Team Talonclaw. Team Talonclaw are one of only 2 teams from the US participating on a new robot-based show in the UK. Another Lucy Long is part of a small women's a cappella group in Los Angeles called the Gin and Tonics. A third Lucy Long works in New York for a business called Corporate Synergetic Solutions Unlimited. All of this is gross. Corporate Synergetic Solutions Unlimited is a company located in New York City. Lucy Long is a lead synergy engineer who's listed as being ranked at one of the top facilitators in the world by Business Watch magazine. As far as you can tell, CSSU is a company that other companies hire as consultants to increase productivity. It's unclear the exact services that they provide. The site is light on details. There are a few high-profile companies listed on their site as former clients. You recognize their names, but none of them are related to your current investigation. I'm still going to look her up in Business Watch. Each person featured in the article has a small bio section. Lucy's bio section mentions she grew up in a small Arkansas town. Okay, that's not her then. Okay. Team Talonclaw is the robotics club of Mid-Eastern University. Their robot, also named Talonclaw, has been selected for appearance on the 2nd season of a British TV show focused on robot fighting. Small blurb mentions that robot fighting leagues have existed for a few years, but there have been recent moves to televise it. Talonclaw was one of 2 teams selected from the US. The robotics club has a text-only site you can find linked from the university's student section. The site seems like it's used mostly to announce the schedule to its members. The club is supposed to meet every Tuesday and Thursday, but the last 8 dates have all been cancelled because a few members of the team are currently in the UK filming. Another date from a few weeks back was cancelled for an interview with the school's newspaper. At the bottom, the traveling members of Talonclaw are listed as team captain Jaya Patel and supporting members Lucy Long and Kurt Hauser. Herald, Herald. That's their newspaper. There we go. Herald. What was it? Talon Claw? The Herald has a story about their school's robotics team, Team Talonclaw. It lists 3 student members and talks a bit about each of their history. The only one that catches your attention is Lucy Long. She grew up in China as Min Lang. Min Lang. But came to the U.S. specifically to attend university. She says she grew up around factory-scale machines that assembled products that would be shipped all over the world. She's become more obsessed with smaller, more powerful hydraulics. She loves linguistics. She collects accents. In her spare time, she practices not only removing any trace of her native inflection, but also quickly switching between multiple different regional accents. She feels her personal best is the Southern Belle, but her favorite is the Valley Girl. Okay. Gotcha. Can I? What was her name? Excuse me. I really don't know if I can. What did she do? I don't know if any of this is right. Well, if it was all right, I would have locked those 4 in. So there's something wrong. And go back to the duck. She must be the woman in the 3rd affair. That's what I did. Yeah. And then she has Min. Yeah. I've got that. She's a CEO. I think that's her. Okay, so then the problem must be here. Or... yeah, that's not a problem. That's correct. Right, we did that already. The journalist claimed that this was to shut down a story in 1973. Child bride, right? This was very gross. Who was her husband again? Like, I can't remember his name. No. What is his name? There's so many. Was it Mark? Might have been Mark. We're gonna go with Mark. I don't think that's right, but anyway. I'm getting distracted. What is the problem? Oop, belay. What's the date on that? I guess that's current. So yeah, she's got to be a student. I mean, that's her birth name. They don't want me to use... What is it? Lucy, do they? No. It's Min. I am so confused. What is wrong here? This isn't wrong. This is right. This is right. What am I missing? Jinyu Lang. Jinyu Lang. Unless it's not her picture. Oh, that's her picture. Oh, what the hell? That's still not right? Oh, yeah. Because that was... I mean, that's definitely her. That's definitely her. I mean, that's her. I know her occupation. She was in the military. Maybe she's... Oh, no. Now I'm gonna feel dumb. Listed as a professor. God damn. There's no longer in... There we go. Of course, like, if her arm got amputated, of course she's no longer in this stupid... Oh, I feel dumb. Okay. Okay, very good. Ah. Sam, both!
Hey there, it's us. So, I just have to say, the work you're doing here is fantastic.
So fantastic, in fact.
There goes Clark. Always the bad cop. Go ahead.
Well, our law firm, Ruby Legal Enterprises, is having trouble keeping up. They're actually begging us to stop submitting new Roottrees. They said it's getting difficult to verify your progress.
Listen, man. Your dude, Guy Hudson, was a bit of a... I'm not even gonna say it.
Well, consider that a good thing. I told Clark you'd get results.
She says that like I didn't believe her. Regardless, the bad news is it's gonna take 5
Oh, come on!
before anyone locks in from now on. Good luck.
That's rude.
And keep up the good work.
No new info? Just that? F you guys. F you guys. Do you know how hard this is? 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 10. So, great. I don't even know. Pretty sure I already did, right? The school for the deaf near Butler and was regularly listed in articles with other local schools. Endless snow cancellations, extracurriculars, weekend events that began over 70 years ago and stretched until last mentioned 1990. You almost miraculously discover one useful article. Grandorf Dove was at the center of a crime article from 1982. It seems that someone defaced the school and vehicles outside of the brand new Hudson wing of the school. There were multiple broken windows, and one of the teachers' cars was painted with profanities and accusations of infidelity. Oh, God. A few weeks later, a follow-up article provides more details. There was one arrest, Thomas Hughes, who was coincidentally a former student at the school. Apparently, the destruction came weeks after he married the school's newest teacher, Mrs. Hughes. She's not a teacher when he went. He graduated a few years earlier. According to the reporter's investigation into the police reports, trials, and restraining orders, Mr. Hughes was convinced that he was not the father of Mrs. Hughes' current pregnancy. He was released on bail, and the school has agreed not to press criminal charges after an agreement was made to pay for the damages and for the couple to begin the divorce proceedings. It seems Thomas Hughes, Mrs. Hughes, and the Hudson Wing have all avoided further appearances in the Butler County Times. Okay. Thomas Hughes. We're going back to the evidence. That's too far back. What if that's Susan Ford? What if Mrs. Hughes' student is Susan Ford? Okay. principal. Worked in the school for over 15 years. It's got to be her. It's got to be her. And the reason why the Hudson Wing was targeted was because he suspects it's okay. So, do we have a photo? We don't have a photo. So I'm gonna say that is Susan Ford. She's married to Thomas Hughes, or was. She wasn't a secretary. Oh no, she's a principal. Last we heard. Is there a photo anywhere? No. Oh. Yeah. Okay. So it's definitely her. It's Susan Ford and Thomas Hughes. We don't have a picture. They had kids. Who, I guess, are Hugheses. But I have no idea where to go from here. Yeah. Did I not do that? For the love of God. Local students provide key evidence in scientific study. Ford sisters. Twins. Susan Ford. Listen, Heather. Crap. My youngest. So the youngest is the peanut allergy. Youngest equals allergy. Oldest equals asthma. Oldest, youngest. Oldest, youngest. When was this? March of this year. Oh. So, whoops. Now, do we have their names right? Is that Melissa or is that Heather? We'll see. One, two. Wow, we only have two that are potentially correct. And we don't have a picture of their mom. Susie Ford. Oh, they're Ford sisters. What? Oh, great, because she got divorced. I don't know if their last name is Ford or not. They look like him. God damn. Mm-hmm. Okay. We can figure that out. We can figure this out. This one has asthma. This is the oldest. Nowadays, mostly performed by smaller theater. If you couldn't tell by now, a game designer by the name Jeremy Johnston was in musical theater all 4 years of high school. Wow. That was so rude. Bloody hell, just copy the thing. Copy. Paste. Heather Ford. So Heather is the oldest. Okay, so we did get those names mixed up. Okay, that's good. But now we don't know, like, their mom, right? Like, yes, I kind of figured that. Yes. Yes. Oh. Oh, hang on, hang on, hang on. We do have a picture of her. That's her. It's got to be her. Christmas. Yeah, it's her looking on in the background. Okay. Okay, so we have 3 that should lock in when we're ready to lock friggin' things in. But I honestly have no idea where to go from here. We've been playing an hour. Okay, yeah. Bess Williams was an author born in the late 1800s. She lived just outside of Miami and tragically died young in a major hurricane that struck the area in 1926. Uh-oh. Bess. Oh, no. Bess has a minor history with the Roottrees. Her only notable book, Family Man, is widely considered blatant propaganda about Elias Roottree. There's a site dedicated to hurricane statistics that also mentions Bess Williams. The Boca Doral library, not far from where she lived, was partially destroyed in the hurricane. When they rebuilt, they named the nonfiction section after her. Okay. Yeah. So I'm saying, oh no, because in one of these things, Elias, the grandmother, Gwyneth, was always saying, no, somebody remembered the grandparents yelling about someone named Beth. But grandma had a lisp, so it's Beth's. It's Bess Williams. Not Beth. Oh, you sneaky. Author. I don't think we have a picture of her, though. So where do we go from here? Oh. No longer exists. One of the exhibits is their courtyard, which includes a fountain as well as the statue of an unknown author. A picture has been added to your evidence. Another is a printing press that was used by the Miami Sunday. Original print of Cuba by Cubans. Well, that has got to be Bess Williams. This is a very complex bit. I'm not pleased. That is like the last bit. Okay. We've been going on for an hour. We'll continue this tomorrow. All right. Give me a like if you liked Alanis Morissette. Give me a subscribe if you like my explanation of her song Ironic as to why it's actually ironic. And we'll see you next time. Thanks so much for watching.